Yo, what is going on, everybody? Hello, happy Thursday. I hope you've had a phenomenal week so far. I unfortunately was not able to stream yesterday as I was planning to, so maybe we'll try to do another stream tomorrow. But here we are on our usual Thursday stream, and I don't know why, but I'm feeling pretty hyped about Web3 gaming right now. So again, that's going to be the topic of today. I'm feeling pretty good, even though the market's not fantastic. You're seeing a lot of red across the board here, but just the stuff that I'm seeing across gaming in general. Shout out to Bulldog, who's posting about Illuvium and how you can go and actually earn right now. You don't have to own anything, just by going and helping to play test the beta. So that is pretty cool. I'm hoping to hear something more on GLX this week because GLX is, this thing is falling as fast as it possibly can. So I'm more excited about the whatever new game that they end up launching, because the GLG game is just something that I haven't really revisited. But hopefully, if they're able to get something else in, that'd be pretty cool. And then also, I have to give a shout out to the People's Guild, because earlier this morning they posted an interview with Yaba Matt, and it was fantastic. So basically everything that I wanted in that past town hall, which again is unfair to expect Yaba to be able to talk about all of it, but just like the broad vision and kind of digging deeper into a lot of the different topics with actually having someone go back and forth rather than him just kind of like giving all of his thoughts on it. It was a fantastic conversation. So number one podcast for Splinterlands. It's fantastic. So I don't know how else to say it. I listened on 2x speed this morning because I knew when I saw it dropped, I was like, if I don't listen to it before the live stream, everybody's gonna come and be like, yo, did you check out the stream or check out the interview? So I did. Now we can talk about it if anybody wants to talk about it. But if you haven't listened to it yet, or haven't finished it, it is a great it's just a great overview for a lot of the things that Matt is thinking about. It gives me a lot of confidence in the direction that he's taking the game. And again, the tough part is there's just no time frames really given for a lot of this stuff. But across Splinterlands, Illuvium, like I said, there's some cool stuff happening there. With Parallel, they just announced the 60,000 Prime giveaway, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about how much it is. But it's going to be for the new Planetfall set. So that's something that I definitely want to be able to start playing more. And I tried to do a live stream yesterday, just did not end up happening. So hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more of that this upcoming weekend, because the NFL playoffs are going into the conference semifinals. So that means I'll have Saturday free because it's only games on Sunday. Shout out to the Detroit Lions. I see Virus here in the chat. We'll get into the chat in a second, but shout out to the Detroit Lions for making it to the conference finals. Very excited to see how they do against the 49ers. And I'm so happy the 49ers beat the Packers. Man, if it was Packers Lions going into this thing, I'd be like, oh my gosh, Packers are going to win. They're going to get all the glory of being the number 7 team, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? 49ers did their job. We'll see how they do against the Lions. And then I really wanted to see Buffalo win, but they just can't seem to get over the hump with Kansas City. So, we'll see Kansas City and Baltimore. I don't know, shaping up to be an interesting playoff so far. We'll see what the Super Bowl has in store for the future. So I think we covered all the games that I've been peripherally or following a little bit more closely. Like I said, Illuvium is something that I want to get into. Man, Gala, I don't know if anybody here is still playing Gala, but that's, I think I downloaded the Gala launcher, never actually jumped into it. So that's another area in which I want to be able to take a closer look at what games are popping off right now. But yeah, across Splinterlands, we've seen a massive amount of sales. We're at over 721,000 packs now sold, or just given away for Rebellion, which is phenomenal. And if you listen to the interview with Matt, I mean, he said the the sale for conflicts, which I think at the time he was saying was like 50,000, but I think we're probably closer to like 80 to 100,000, because I really remember this stalling out about 620,000. So the fact that we're at 720,000 now over the past week or two, I would attribute that directly to conflicts. So that's fantastic. We're 30,000 away from my, own personal goal of wanting to see us hit 750 before or around the time of early February, right? February 5th would be fantastic. But if you didn't notice, we're also almost at like 1 million packs burned. Now, again, 1 million packs burned for Rebellion is nothing, because I think we're all expecting like, I don't know, anywhere between 7 to 8 million to burn over the course of the set, but it's still significant. It shows that, we're moving our way through the set quite rapidly. No, not rapidly. It's just, I guess time is just flying. I don't know how else to say it. It's like, okay, cool. Like we're already like, there's only 82% of the set left. So, we'll see how the rest of the year plays out, but very exciting to see nonetheless. Arbitrage opportunity is still there for Rebellion packs. What is this? Almost 50 cents? Yeah, about 47-cent arbitrage if people want to try and take advantage of that. Chaos is back below 82 cents. I really don't know what they're going to do about Chaos. And I will say this. One thing that definitely caught my attention, I almost even thought about doing the 5 biggest takeaways of like that conversation with Matt, because he dropped so much there. But one thing that he mentioned was like, Chaos Legion, there's a huge overhang of cards there, and we'll need to figure out how to do blah, blah, blah. But also, it's going to be, at some point it'll be out of Modern. And I was like, oh no, right? Because if they're already looking at it and being like, yeah, okay, you know what? We're just going to sidestep Chaos Legion, right? It just goes back to the whole thing that I was saying of like, Chaos Legion really is going to be the lost set or the land set, right? There will never, like, there's not going to be as much focus on it, just because the team doesn't have the time and capacity to really focus on fixing the Chaos Legion oversupply, right? Rather than just focusing on like new stuff and new sets to put out, and new, things within the game that they need to work on. So that was a little like, I took notice, right? I took notice of that. But hopefully we'll see, there hasn't been much talk about a burn event or anything like that. Not that would really fix much with Chaos Legion outside of burning a bunch of Gargoyle Lions and Hardy Stonefishes. But, if it's going to be a burn event or land or something like that, we're going to have to wait and see. But even still, I have zero, this is the bearish part, right? I have zero confidence in Chaos Legion ever retaining some kind of value in the long run. The only way that Chaos Legion would, in my opinion, is if they find a way to fix Wild or create a new format at some point when Chaos Legion rotates out, right? Because if they're already talking about like, all right, next 18 months, like we're just gonna, Chaos Legion, we're just gonna rotate it out of Modern, right? And Modern's just gonna be the main focus. Well, if it goes to Wild, then it doesn't really matter, because people will never be wanting to buy the cards unless it's for land, and land is a multi-year project at this point. At which point, how much higher can the cards go? Also considering that there's almost 2.5 million packs unopened sitting around the ecosystem. But if there's a new format in the future, like a vintage or something like that will include, for example, right, Untamed and Chaos Legion, then you might get a lot of people that choose to play there and go buy cards, because there'll be an opportunity rather than playing in the new area. But even still, when you think about it, like let's say they come up with Wild, let's say they come up with a new with Modern, and Chaos Legion rotates out. I mean, the cost of going to play in Vintage or Classic or whatever you want to call it is going to be it's going to be significantly lower. And all the players who are here right now will probably still end up playing a decent amount there, right? Because it's just like, oh, well, I have the Chaos Legion cards already. That's not going to make me go out and buy Chaos Legion cards. But for newer players, right? Newer players, they might come in and be like, well, I could either buy the newest set, right? Rebellion or whatever the one after Rebellion ends up being. And then, or I could buy, significantly cheaper cards and go play in this other format, which again, there's a couple of ways that they can try to solve it. But like I said, I just don't have much confidence that it's going to be solved in the sense of Chaos Legion is ever going to be, above its original value. So you take a look here at Untamed and Dice, right? I mean, This is a 5x on the original pack price, which I think is appropriate, right? When this thing was selling for $80, that was inappropriate. That was not realistic. When Dice is about what, 6, almost 7x above its original pack price. And keep in mind, these have already been subjected to wild now. So they came down significantly. Chaos Legion has not been subjected to wild. What happens when it does get subjected to wild? You know what I mean? Next 18 months will be interesting. Yeah, Rift Watchers too. Okay, cool. Sorry, I went down a deep rabbit hole there. Virus is in the house. What's going on, brother? Wibble wee. Virus says I'm only a quarter of the way through it. You know, I listened on 2x speed. I got it done in less than an hour. So also, you know, Matt really, I don't want to say that he talks slow because he doesn't talk slow, but he's very cerebral when he's like thinking through things. So actually listening to it on 2 speed, I felt like I was able to get so much. I was able to get it much faster. So you know, I really respect how he has gone through and approached this ecosystem. And there was something from the town hall which I thought about making a video on, because he kind of like reiterated it again during this interview, right? But you know, he's like thinking through the process, and I'm sure he's like almost having to filter what he like wants to say. Obviously, you know, he doesn't want to reveal things early, but also I think he's also just trying to be mindful of how people take what he says, which is important. But back in the town hall, he mentioned, and he even like blurted out like alpha cards, for example, saying that like we should be thinking about what is best for the game, right? Not best for like a certain segment of players or blah, blah, blah. And he even said like alpha cards, right? And so I was like, oh shoot, you know, like he's ready to go to war, which is awesome, because there, you know, the entire time of like, oh, you know what, all these like OG players who have all these cards, you even go back to Aggie, who would talk about it as well, and saying like, you know, whenever they would do things, he would get complaints from a lot of the top holders who have become like close friends of his, right? And again, I'm not trying to like point to anything there or any like foul play or whatever, right? It's just this is something that the team, no matter who's the CEO, has to be very cognizant of. And I kind of like the fact that Matt was like, you know what? We're going to have to do what's best for the game. And there's going to be a certain group of people that doesn't like it. And it doesn't matter what group that is, because everybody needs to understand that we're doing this for the betterment of the entire ecosystem. And I was like, oh, shoot. All right. Shots fired. He's ready to take it on, right? We took on the bots. We took on, you know, players who are exploiting at the lower levels. And now, I mean, he talked about like tournaments. He even said like, or not tournaments, leaderboards. And of course he didn't like name any names, but I'm sure people can fill in the blanks, which I won't do here. But he's just like, you know, how leaderboards is such a small amount of people, or, you know, it's only benefiting a small amount of people, a lot of them who are multi-accounting, right, to get into those leaderboard positions. So he's saying we should tear the whole thing to the ground and rebuild it from scratch. And I'm like, bro, I am so on board with that. So I just hope that ends up happening sooner rather than later. But you know, he's leaving no stone unturned, which is exactly what you want to see. You want to see someone come in and just rip everything up and create it from scratch. And I don't think there's any person better to do that than Matt. Did you buy an all tree from Decrops? I did not, Mitchell. How is it treating you? I have just been very bad about my Decrops play lately. Detroit is hyped. I would like to see Detroit make it to the Super Bowl, Virus. I don't have anything against San Francisco. I mean, they've won a bunch, and my cousin's from San Francisco, so I kind of want to support him. But you know, Detroit just, I love the people. I love the people in Detroit, man. They've been through a lot. They've been through a lot with that Lions team, and so to see them all happy makes me happy. You got one? Very cool, Wibble. Let me know how it works. Plato, what's going on, Plato? Liberty Guy, hello. Hey, Liberty Guy, I added you into the guild on Golem Overlord, so make sure you check it out. I saw your application there and added you in, so I apologize for the delay on that. So crypto ABCs, I know it's early, but have you projected how much Rebellion will ultimately be burned? Well, okay. I mean, we can, right? This is going to be 10 million copies that were available for sale. Matt's low kind of like conservative projection or, of sales is that he wants to hit, between 1.5 to 2 million copies sold. So if we go all the way at the bottom of that projection, 1.5, that would mean we'd have about 8.5 million burned. Now, I know I'm probably being a little bullish here and maybe hopeful that, a certain group of players comes in. A new group of players comes in and wants to, play with Rebellion and all of that. But I'm hoping that we see between 2.5 to 3 million. And I don't know. I just we'll have to wait and see. So if we see 2.5 to 3 million, that'll end up being 7 to 7.5 million burned. But that's just my projection versus Matt's projection. So hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Just gotta text someone back. Let me see what's going on here. All right, cool. Very cool. All right, let's jump back into the chat, shall we? So Virus says, if they did a bot-free legacy format, it would probably have more players than modern, but it would hurt pack sales in the future. I mean, you're not wrong, but yeah. Here's the thing, even new players now coming in, what cards are they going to buy? It's Chaos Legion. Nobody's rushing to buy Rebellion except for the people who are here and have been here and understand the meta, right? I would be hard pressed to find any new player coming in that is like looking at the difference in prices between cards and packs and thinking to themselves, yeah, I'm going to jump all in on like Rebellion and pay like this premium, especially when you have, maybe people like me streaming, but I'm sure there's others talking about how like, Chaos Legion is still dominant, very dominant in the meta. The Chaos Legion set, I should say. Yo, Steve, what's going on? Hello. All right, Wagons got me to FOMO a bit, but I moved some ETH into DEC at the right time. Nice. So hyped for the ranked rebuild. I hate the way leaderboards work today. I forgot to get an olive tree. Oh, it's all good. I think Matt said we burned like 12 million. Somewhere like 12 million DEC already for all the olive trees, so that's pretty cool. So of course leaderboards would get removed when I can finally reach the leaderboards. Well, I'm hoping that there's a rework in place, right? So leaderboards would just be rethought. But here's the thing, Virus, are you reaching leaderboards in Champion? I'm gonna check. I want to see where you're at. Leaderboard Champion. Damn, Lorcus. Shout out to Lorcus. Look at that. Where are you at, Virus? Oh, I see Mondroid up at the top too. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, Macy's up there too. Viru. Nice. All right, you're number 48. Pretty cool. There's some good competition up here. So here's what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, there shouldn't be leaderboards for every league, but I think there should be leaderboards for people who are all the way at the top. This kind of goes back to where it's just like, yeah, okay, look, it's play to earn, and that's fine. Everybody's able to earn something every battle, and that's cool, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that's one of the coolest features about the game. But really, the rewards should be for the top tier players. It should be something that is available for those who are, truly skilled, have the assets, and are playing at the top. So I wouldn't mind keeping leaderboard, but just having only a champions leaderboard. Like, there's no reason. What if they remove the level caps and all the other leagues, and they just go to a champions leaderboard? I mean, granted, I'm not a leaderboard player now. Yes, am I able to like get onto leaderboards sometimes? Yeah, and then I end up playing too much because I mean, I was at number 18 earlier, right? And then I couldn't help myself. I just kept on playing, and I lost a bunch. But point being that, like, I don't even care. Even if I was able to achieve, or I know that I'm able to achieve leaderboard, I wouldn't care, just because at that point it's like we shouldn't be paying out leaderboards like crazy amounts of money and inflating DEC, right, for all of these lower leagues. It's just, it should be for the top tier. If you want to play at the top level, then play at the top level. If you want to earn extra rewards around around the game, and you want to be elite in a certain league, that's what tournaments are for. And I think we deserve a tournament rework as well. But leaderboards only being for the top, like literally only for Champions League, and actually there's not even going to be a Champions League. It's literally just going to be who has the highest rating. I think that's going to be awesome. I would totally get on board with that. Okay. I'm not upset about the rework, just ironic for me. So Steve says, hey, I'm top 50 now, but I think the rework will reward guys that play more, no more 100-game seasons, and be number one. Yeah, I would like for that to be the case too. I don't know how they solve the problem of squatters, and I know maybe some people are going to view it as not a problem. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. It's like you want the people who are playing the most to be rewarded the most, and sure, they're earning SPS and they're earning chests every single time. But I just like, it solves the problem of just like squatting at a certain rating. So yeah, I don't know. Still 9 days to get the olive tree. Let's go. All right. So Virus says, I've had a rough season, but clawing my way back. Very nice. I have mini FOMO with drops. Got 5 olive trees. Holy moly. Well, good for you, Red X. And thank you for liking the video. I appreciate you, brother. All right. So, but conflicts got me to FOMO as well. Aaron Kennedy is here. Good morning. It is always good to chat, guys. So I can't play any battles right now. Man, it's funny because like I made it all the way into Diamond. I did not advance because I don't want to. And then like I made it all the way back down. I was one loss away from going back down to Gold 2. That's how rough it was yesterday. And I literally just played through all my energy. I got like 16 or 17 reward chests just because I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm enjoying playing too much. Which just goes to show it's a fun game. I'll probably end up making a video on this too, but another topic that I wanted to get into that I was thinking about last night as I was playing and running out of energy is just like, I would love another game mode. And when I say game mode, I'm talking about the fact that like a new game mode doesn't need to be something drastically different and elaborate in the way that the stuff that like Weirdbeard was trying to design, right? Where you have like draft modes and speed runs and all this stuff. Like, I just want to be able to play the same game more because when I run out of energy and I don't want to buy more energy, even though it makes sense for me right now, but when I run out of energy and I don't want to buy more energy, it would be cool to have another area in which I could interact with the game, literally using the same mechanics. And part of like an idea that popped up is like, well, they could do PvE stuff with land, or they could do boss fights. Like all those types of things would be pretty cool, right? But again, those seem as though they will be very much like new game mechanics. And so part of me was thinking like, what if they just did something interesting with land, or even like with wagons or conflicts? I don't know what it is, but it doesn't need to be a new game mode. It doesn't need to be a new game mode in that sense. It could literally be a new game mode in the same way that we have tournaments and the same way that we have brawls, right? Give us something else that allows us to play more games, literally the same exact game, but we don't have to worry about the limitations of energy. We don't have to worry about the limitations of tournaments. We don't have to worry about the limitations of how many brawls in the brawl cycle. And again, there can still be limitations on this new thing, but it's like, man, wouldn't it be cool if like there was a resource on land that you could get from like playing certain battles, right? And I don't know, like every account, again, maybe it's just soulbound. I don't even know, but it's like you go up against company bot accounts, right? I'm just throwing a random idea out there. I've not thought this through, so nobody get triggered, please. But it's like a company, they just create, it's almost like a PvE environment, right? So there'll be like a company account that has a maxed copy of whatever, or maybe even the DAO fund something like this, where it's just like, there's like a thing where like this, it's like a maxed collection, and then you just go and you play, and every time you win, again, maybe you only get like 5 energy in that area per day, or 10 energy in that area per day. But what you can do is, I don't know, increase like, get some resources for land, or get some, I don't know, other things out there. Actually, what would be even better? Hold up, I came up with a crazy idea. Okay, imagine this. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where this pool would come from, but just follow me on this. Imagine there was like a pool of, I don't even know, like SPS, or maybe even like DEC. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that people can go in, and what you're doing is you're playing the game against some kind of PvE environment, and there's like a chunk of SPS there. And every time you win against the bot, right? Every time you win against the PvE environment, it just burns a little SPS, right? So where that SPS comes from, we need to think through, right? How would that be determined, right? Maybe this is something that, I don't know, like obviously it's not good use of DAO funds, but it's just like, if there was SPS sitting there somewhere, and we could all just play matches that burn SPS whenever we win. And you can't, it's not unlimited, but you could just go in and it's like, every time you play, you burn like 0.1 SPS if you win. And then there's a leaderboard that shows, hey, who's won this many games against the computer, right? Against the PvE, that allows them, that if you're the leaderboard, it's just for the glory of like, man, I've played the most, I've done the most for this community, I've done the most for this ecosystem, I've won 1,000 battles and I've burned this much SPS, right? Just using my time to benefit the community. That's something that bots will never partake in, but it's fun for humans, right? It's fun for people to go in and be like, I'm doing something. I like playing the game anyway. And even if I'm out of energy to win rewards, I'm going to go in and try to do something that helps the game economy. How that would work, the mechanics, where that SPS would come from, I don't know. But I mean, I would totally be okay with like even the I don't know, design it in a way where maybe we have like here you go. Design it in a way where it's just like, there's a new a promo card launched by the DAO, right? Half of it's paid in SPS, half of it goes towards the DAO, a portion of it goes towards the team, whatever it is, and then there's a portion of this pool that's just available where we can all just go in and like everybody plays this mini game, or it's not even a mini game, but it's just plays a PvE against this thing that we can slowly chip away at and burn. And it'll never make its way back out into the ecosystem or something. I don't know. I haven't thought through it, but you get my point, right? It'd just be cool to have another game mode that's not a fancy new game mode, but literally just the same thing as brawls, ranked, and tournaments, but allows us to continue playing the game that we know and love. Okay. Let me switch gears for a second. Went way deep down the rabbit hole. I don't have any money for conflicts, says Chad. It's all good. Neither do I. Liberty guy says, I was just reminded about the guild spot and Golem Overlord. Hey, Liberty guy, I don't know if you heard me, but I on the last comment or when I said hello, you are in the guild now, my friend. So I think your IGN is Liberty guy, right? So I added you in. In fact, I think it's still even open. Yep, there we go. Liberty guy, right there. If that's not you, let me know. But this is a Liberty guy that applied to be part of the guild, and I added you in 26 minutes ago. So hopefully, no, sorry, I didn't add you in 26 minutes ago. I added you in, I don't know, at some point before the stream. 26 minutes ago is when you were last online. So, Steve says, yo, as silly as it sounds, a story mode like Axie would be fun when we have no energy. Dude, I would love it. Here's the thing. I would love to play the game just to play the game and have it be competitive for fun, right? I don't need the rewards. There's the addictive loop of it. But I would love for there to be something where it's just like the entire community can come together and work towards something in the same way that they have, the ancient ruins reconstruction plan for land, but do it with battles, right? I mean, again, boss battles make the most sense, but the reason I'm saying to not do boss battles is because, or to not focus on boss battles, because that's going to be another kind of game mechanic there. But if it was just something where like we got to benefit the community in some way, that'd be kind of cool. Like how? I don't know. Because I would want the feedback loop to make sense. I would want the incentive structure to be aligned for everybody to want to take part in it, right? But it's like, how do you get that pool of DEC or SPS in the first place? I don't know. Wagons raiding to steal something would be cool. Oh yeah. I mean, even something like the Golem Overlord design, where you can just go like steal like resources from other people. I hope they implement something like that on land. That'd be fun. I'll make it battles. Yo, what's up, Ryan600? Good to see you here, brother. Hope you're doing well. All right, so Virus says 50k DEC from the DAO a day. You choose to protect the DAO funds or burn. If you protect and win, it converts DEC to SPS. If you choose to burn and win, it burns the DEC. Oh, that would be fantastic, because the community is very split on what to do with that DEC. But I think people would not even bother, or they would not even want us to get to that level. But I like it. See, Virus. See, now we're thinking outside the box here, right? This is what I needed. I can't have this idea just floating around in my head. There's way better, smarter people in the community. Protect it or burn it. I like it. Since we can't decide what to do with the DEC. Yeah. All right. So Librias is great. Thanks. I will send you. What's a module? You don't got to send me anything, bro. I'll be honest. I don't even know what a module is. I just haven't been following Golem Overlord. Shout out to Yixen though. I mean, he's just an absolute beast. I haven't been able to keep up with Yixen. That's what it is. It's on me, not on him. All right. So Steve says, hi, you gave me a random idea. Bear my lineup. Let me put up a prize. Make 3 to 5 lineups where I get to pick mana cap and rules. And if you can win 2 out of 3, you win the prize. Small fee to play. And that's interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. I want to do more like gameplay stuff on here too. Actually, like challenges and stuff with folks. So we'll see. Hi, what's up, Powers? How long have I missed? We've only been live for like 30 minutes, so not much. But the stuff we talked about was phenomenal. You're not going to want to miss it. You got to go back and listen to it on 2. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know what we discussed. I went down some very, very deep rabbit holes on a lot of different Splinterlands crazy ideas, but we'll see. All right, so but multi-accounts will get to win it fast, so maybe we need a bot to change them. Okay. This is in, okay, 2 out of 3. It'd be awesome to do tournaments where we just burn, like, it'd be awesome actually if the actually never mind. I was like, if you just burn, like do tournaments that charge SPS and then burn that SPS, the fee of that SPS into DEC and give out the DEC as prizes. I mean, yeah, we're inflating DEC, but we're also like getting rid of hopefully a bunch of SPS. I guess it was about conflicts. Yeah, we didn't talk as much about conflicts. We were talking about like new game modes and such. Pal says, as long as it wasn't conspiracy stuff, I missed. Oh, you know what? I was on the phone with Keys last night, and I think we're gonna try and shoot for. I think I actually said this weekend I wanted to do the conspiracy theory stream. So he said he's in. Darkest Night's been traveling, but I'm gonna ask him if he's up for it this weekend, and if he is, then we'll probably be talking a little bit about the moon. I think is the last thing we left off on. So for anybody who's into conspiracy theory streams, we might be coming up with number 3 very soon. Sent you a module with 3 power and 3 fortification. Oh, thanks, dude. You know what? While you're here, I would, I'm gonna go through this because I don't even know what that does. Okay, how do I go back to scavenge? Inventory, view and manage your collected NFTs. Oh, I have an advisor? What's that about? I'm telling you, man, I like read through the entire thing, all of the things that he had posted, and I was still so confused afterwards. And I'm like, I really should have been following this much more closely. All right, we'll come back to this. How is the part token doing? I don't even know. Ooh, 0.0027. Oh, it's like it's around the same as TerraCore, I guess. Nice module. I just bought one. Bought a new one since I'm switching my strategy. Oh, shoot. Count my viewership in then. All right, thanks, Pals. Conspiracy. What about all the aliens that are working inside different mountains around the world? I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I haven't heard that one before. I mean, outside of Area 51. You know what I did enjoy though was the Monarch series on Apple. If anybody's into like the MonsterVerse, like Godzilla, King Kong, like all those movies that came out, I really like how they went deep into the whole like mythology or lore of it. Again, it just goes to show like, oh, how little we know about like our planet and this, the beings that are still here inside of it. What is your contribution per hour is what Paus is asking. That's why I'm going here. So my contribution per hour is 4,360. It is not very high. I'm getting most of it from packs, actually, surprisingly enough. Interesting. So let's see. We sold more packs. Looks like it. Let's refresh this. Let's refresh this bad boy for a second. All right, $3.99. All right, so we're closing in on 722,000. People are definitely still taking advantage. Very cool. Now, the question then becomes, what are going to be the other catalysts as we go along? If any, right? So let me pull out handy dandy calculator here for a second. Let's say we hit 750 by February. Actually, we'll just say we're at what, end of January right now. So we're at 720. So what is it? February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So 11 months. And let's just say we need another 800,000 or so. Right, that's going to get us to the 1.5. I mean, that'll easily get us to the 1.5, but so 800. Oh, hold on. Oh, so 800,000 divided by 11 months. Right? Am I doing that right? Yeah, 11 months. So we need to sell 72,000 per month divided by 30. So roughly 2,400 per day, 2,400 to 2,500 per day. I don't think we were moving that much when things slowed down. So, and the reason I'm kind of contemplating this is because, all right, so conflicts got started. A lot of people already have whatever they need for Rage, right, to get the number of BCX that they need. maybe, contribution requirements go up a little bit slightly, so people will buy a couple more packs in a month and then a month after that. But is it going to be enough? I don't know. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no, between now and what's that called? Between now and December, there's no other catalyst for current players to go in and buy like a ton of packs, right? So it'll be a slow, steady drip. And as I was saying earlier, since there's no, since when new players come in, they're no longer trying to, it wouldn't make sense for them to go for Rebellion straight off the bat. They'd be starting off with Chaos Legion. They're not going to be net buyers of Chaos Legion, they're not going to be net buyers of Rebellion or heavy buyers of Rebellion early on. So I don't know. Is 2,500 packs a day reasonable, or is it too high? And also, I'm so glad that we're not giving away packs and chests. I know some people are on the other side of the fence for that, but it's just like that's been super helpful in having these packs retain their value. All right, Hollow Earth Theory. Yep, that's what it was. I got mine up to 265k an hour now. Nice. Oh shoot, you're really going. Isn't the moon supposed to be hollow and made of metal? When we were at Virus, I think you're the one that told me this, right? When we were at After Dark Fest, we were all just chilling in Darkest Night's backyard or in his like deck, looking up at the moon. It was the first time that I learned that the moon doesn't rotate. Am I remembering that right? The moon doesn't rotate, so we only see one side of the moon. It just like circles the Earth with that side always facing us. Which again, I mean, I didn't even know that. You're trying to get to 300k. Is there any reason that you're trying to get to 300k per hour? Outside of just more chances. I'm curious what that number represents. Powis bought another 100 packs today. Nice. Congrats, man. It'd be interesting to figure out what the actual print rate of Rage will be with the current rate. I was watching the Monster Maverick show. So shout out to Brennan and Neil. I was watching the show, and I think they were calculating that it's going to be, the way that they did Rage is going to be significantly higher BCX than even all of the other legendaries out there. So that might be something similar to what they did with like Grum Flameblade, where they overestimated it early on. And so therefore, like Grum, Isa, Lyra the Dark, those all have higher print rates. So we may see a dramatic shift from the first one to the second one, which could be that other catalyst that is required. So we'll see. Again, but is that going to sell 700,000 packs? No, probably not. Hey guys, give me 1 second. I literally just drank too much, so I'll be right back. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom. All right. Very sorry about that. Appreciate your patience. Walking Keys has convinced me to start drinking a gallon of water a day. I'm sorry that you guys had to feel the effect of that. We'll try to do better next time. It's funny. I was like looking at them like, oh, we're like 45 minutes in. I was like, should I just end the stream early, or can they handle like me being gone for 30 seconds? So appreciate the patience, guys. Let's jump back in. All right. Since the 200 guaranteed are not taken from the 4K. Yep. I think it's going to be quite a few printed extra. I think it'll be tiny bumps each month for each new conflict, especially if the requirement for guarantees like they did with CL airdrops. Yeah, again, I mean, I expect it to go up, but it's like, how much? Is it 70,000 packs worth per month? Because that's kind of what we need in order to hit the 1.5 mil. I mean, we saw it with, we've had over 100,000 packs purchased for this first conflict. I don't know that it's going to be drastic enough that they're going to force people to buy 70,000 more packs in the future. Steve says, the moon stuff is wild. Look up how science explains our moon, and it starts to easily think it was made by someone. Okay. Do you have any recommendations? Because Keys and I were on the phone last night, and then I told him, like, all right, if we're going to do this thing, just for the fun of it, I want to see what ChatGPT says. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and ask it for like, what are the top moon conspiracy theories or conspiracy theories related to the moon? So if you have any resources, I'll have to do my research before Saturday. Maybe if contributions go up 10K or 25K each month for chances. It's so, what is it for every 100,000 or every 200,000? No, sorry. It's like for every 200 chances you get a guaranteed drop, right? Something like that. That's why there is the dark side of the moon. Wait, so Bitcoin Sig is saying the moon rotates. Okay. We're gonna have to search this up. Now you've piqued my interest. Does the moon rotate? The moon does rotate on its axis. One rotation takes nearly as much time as one revolution around the Earth. If the moon were to rotate quickly, several times a month, or not rotate at all, Earth would be exposed. Earth would be exposed to all sides of the moon. Wait, what? Why do we see the same side of the moon? We all see the same because as the moon revolves around the Earth, the moon rotates so that the same side is always facing Earth. Okay, so it's rotating, but it's rotating at like the perfect pace. How does that? I guess we're rotating too, right? I'm so lost here. So does the moon spin on its axis? Yes. Do we ever see the dark side of the moon? It's eternally out of view. Never. Okay, so there were two things that were true. We never see a certain side of the moon, but the moon also does rotate. Guys, what are we even? Wait, this isn't the conspiracy theory stream. Sorry. All right, let's get back to gaming. All right, so the moon rotates at the same rate as Earth. So it seems like it might be part of the Earth from long before. This is fascinating. I always tell people I was born the year of the first fake moon landing. Wait, what was the first fake moon landing? Or is that 69? Trap card activated. Yo, Brandon's here. Yeah, about that calculation, Neil and I read the post multiple times, and it seemed minimums were over and above the 4,000. Math chat disagree with our interpretation. Best to ask for clarification. You know what? I wasn't following your numbers very closely. I was just believing you. The only time, because I watched on the replay, the only time was when Neil was off by a factor of 10 in terms of the thing. I was like, oh shoot! I hope somebody says something. And I think Disgusting Splinterlands called it out in the chat. So, but other than that, your other numbers I didn't double check. So it's not that I'm hoping you're right. But selfishly, for me, since I'm not going heavy into conflicts, overprinting of Rage would make it cheaper for me to take advantage of. So I'm not hoping for that to be the case, but selfishly, I wouldn't mind. And mainly because I'm trying to be a good, citizen of the economy or citizen of the ecosystem, and it's just like I don't want any of these cards to be overprinted. I would really like for Rebellion to hold its value well. I think that'd be best for everybody involved. Yeah, it is that it doesn't rotate. It is that it rotates perfectly, so we only see one side because it's synced with how we rotate. But I don't understand that. Hold on. So I'm trying to imagine, like, okay, I'm just gonna look super stupid now, but like I'm trying to imagine it rotating at the same rate that the Earth is rotating. Because at some point the other side is facing Earth, isn't it? Or am I understanding this completely wrong? So it's like if you're here in the US, you always see the same side. And I know this isn't right, but it's just like it would make sense that if you're in China, for example, or on the other side of the world, you'd see the other side all the time. All right, I'm gonna need a breakdown, visual breakdown on YouTube. You need a stadium? What's a stadium, pal? Ryan, what's a stadium, pal? Oh, what's up, Carlo? Good to see you. Steve says, yeah, what makes our moon so wild is the size and how close it is and stuff, very different than other moons. I mean, isn't like one of the theories, not conspiracy theories, but like evolutionary theories, that like it was an asteroid that hit Earth or something and it bounced off, or a chunk of Earth bounced off or something like that? Yeah, or as Ryan says, just think of the moon as the part that broke away. Oh, so it rotates with us. All right, I get it now. Okay, so it's not rotating on its own thing. It's literally rotating with us. So it's rotating, but that means it's not. Okay, that means in relation to us, it's not rotating. But in relation to the universe, it is rotating. We're going to need keys here for this. We only see about 55% of the moon. All right. Phoenix says, doesn't the guarantee work the same as with pack buys? If you're guaranteed 10 copies, but you get 10 in the chance drawing, you won't get any more. But if you only end up with 7, it would top you up to 10. Yes, that's my understanding of it as well. So it just depends on how the RNG plays out. Like the RNG is very generous with people who didn't have like high guarantees. So for example, right, like you might have 10 chances. I don't know what the math is, but like you might have 10 chances, but maybe that only equals like 2 guarantees versus someone else who has like, 30 guarantees. Let's say you get 10, right, on your 2 guarantees. You like strike gold. You get 10 out of 10 on your chances, even though you were only guaranteed 2. All of a sudden, they're going to have to top up the other person because you're taking away from that person, technically. There's a lot of players that DCA packs by putting a portion of their paychecks into it, or whales that sell their SPS income for packs. That makes sense. Just thinking the moon is part of the Earth that broke away. All right, yeah, I think we're on the same page now. Guten Tag. What's up, International Travel Channel? You have to remember it also rotates around us. We all always see the same side. Okay. I think I understand it now. Brandon says, to Bitcoin saying, I like buying and opening a pack a day. Guess SPL packs is a healthier habit if it was a cigarette pack. But just as expensive, isn't it? Now I'm confused about the rotation of the moon. It's okay. We all are. Stadium pile is where you strap something to your leg, basically catheter, so that you don't have to get out of your seat. Oh, out of game. All right, fair enough. Brandon, for the moon, there is a interdimensional link between the Earth and moon, which manifests in a third dimension space as open space between Earth and moon. But we are connected. Wait, what? There's an interdimensional link? Wait, Brandon, are we ready to dive off the deep end with this? I mean, I want to know more about this interdimensional link. So Carlos says that the moon rotates on its own axis. It takes the same time to rotate around its own axis as it does for the Earth to rotate, namely 27 days and 8 hours. That's why we always see the same side. Look up at the moon. Imagine putting a pin straight through what you see, and it rotates on that pin. So you never see the far side of the pin. Oh, okay. So it's rotating. It's rotating on a different axis. Oh, that's what that thing was saying. Okay. So it does rotate, but not in the way that we do. Just figured I'd add some kindling for the After Dark conspiracy stream. Man, I don't know about you guys. I not that I want to dive deep into this stuff, but I like just with everything going on right now, especially here in the US, like, I mean, conspiracy theories are fun, but like there's just a lot of crazy shit going on. And I just hope I just hope we make it to the end of 2024, like without anything crazy happening, and with new all-time highs from cryptos, and we can all just move on with our lives. Okay, I'm done. Heading to a new dimension. See, Brendan, I wasn't gonna go deep into this, but how's that border doing? Again, I mean, I'm not near the border. I'm in Houston, but it's kind of crazy to think about. So I will say this. I kind of respect the Texas governor in terms of like wanting to take action because they don't feel like the federal government is doing enough. I don't like the fact that it's become like this federal versus states issue, because ultimately it should be like an American issue, right? I hate how all this stuff gets so partisan. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like what's been really crazy to watch with the border situation is the fact that you had a kind of state enforcement authority remove the federal enforcement authority. Then they lost the court case, right? Supreme Court voted in favor of the federal. And then now you have all these other states standing up with Texas. And I'm just like, somebody posted a map earlier today of like all the, I think it's like 7 or 10 other states. And I'm like, oh, okay. So this is what the new Civil War map looks like. Got it. Okay. Let's see how that goes. And I know we're still in the first month, dude. I'm trying to think back to 2020, because obviously 2020 was a crazy year, but I'm trying to think back to like early 2020, and there wasn't too much going on, right? I mean, again, COVID was happening in other parts of the world, but in January of 2020, I still remember running around. I was living in LA at the time, and I was like, we were running around exploring new things, and just being around people. Life was literally normal back in January of 2020. And then February, I started paying more attention to like, oh, what's happening in Italy, in Europe, and other parts of the world. I was like, maybe we shouldn't be going out as much. And then literally the month after that, March, everything shut down. So yeah, we're off to a very interesting start here in 2024. It gets confusing, but we rotate around sun, and rotates. Yes, amazing. We only get to see one side. Blank war stream. Wait, what do you mean? Sorry, I don't know what this means, Steve. Blank. What do you mean by blank war stream? Brand says the Supreme Court decision was upholding standing precedent in a very narrow ruling. It has little application to the entirety of what Texas is doing at the border. And Steve says they didn't lose the case. They defied an order while the case is ongoing. Gotcha. Okay. Well, you guys are more educated on it than I am. I just like, I couldn't believe it, because I'm just like, all right, so Texas is trying to take control of its borders. And then like in response, the federal government sues Texas. And I was like, is that the most productive way to go about this? Again, shouldn't the border thing be like an issue for everybody? But yeah, it's shaping up. I mean, I know I'm laughing about it now, but I'll be honest, like it's something that I'm paying very close attention to, because it's like, I don't know where things go from here. Like as it is, we're already in a very divided nation in many instances. I mean, you just have people that are, way leaning on one side or the other. And I'd like to think that there's a very significantly large middle, independent, whatever you want to call it. That's just almost like a non-vocal majority that's not, going to one side or the other and just trying to like make sense of everything. Or at least that's where I feel like I am. And so, yeah, the fact that we're like in an election year, there's all this other stuff happening. And now virus is even saying U.S. Civil War 2.0 before Land 2.0. I mean, with the way things are going right now, I don't know. And you know what's crazy? Sorry, I don't know if we shouldn't really be getting into this because it's supposed to be a gaming stream, but it's just like, okay, we're talking about this half jokingly in the US, like US Civil War 2.0, yet at the same time, there's also like international conflicts that are happening with countries lining up. So it's like not just US Civil War, but World War. Again, I'm just saying, I hope and pray that we get to 2025 with all of this stuff just diffusing and we just move forward and life gets, people, cooler heads prevail and we just figure out a way to like live with one another and accept decisions. And I don't know, it's gonna be crazy. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I thought the case was still going. I don't know. I just thought that there was a ruling 5-4 and it was interesting to see the response on both sides. Right. But it is what it is. The moon is, dude, what is this stream today? Holy crap. I'm getting questions about Splinterlands, then we're talking about the moon, and now we're talking about Civil War. This is why I love you guys so much. I mean, what else would I want to be doing with my Thursday right now? Thank you guys for being here. The moon is a high resolution. It's just funny because I'm like jumping from topic to topic. All right, so the moon is a high resolution projection. Well, I saw some like funny thing of like flat Earth, where it's just like what it was like a gif or something of like what killed the dinosaurs, and it shows the solar system in all like every other planet is like round or a sphere, and then it shows the Earth is just like a flat thing, and then it like an asteroid hits the Earth and then it like tips over and all the dinosaurs fly off. I don't know why, that just reminded me of that high resolution projection. It got a laugh out of me. All right, so Virus, I'm definitely 50-50 on that bet. Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, again, there's ways in which, like, if we're going to go in, like, international politics, for example, which, again, I'm not trying to go into, but, there's a lot of people who are making the argument now that we technically are and have been in World War III, but it's not a hot war. It's an economic war, right? So it's almost like another Cold War, just with, like, the devaluation of currencies and trade and all that stuff. And again, I'm not saying that I want or ever hope that there's going to be a hot war. It's just, like we're already in some like conflict where people are jockeying for position and all that. And then here in the US, it's like, again, not that I want anything to go hot. In fact, I hope it never does. But you're just having like all these like different legal precedents and I don't know. Again, on Twitter for me, like I saw Texas starting to trend, right? Which is for like Brexit, but just Texas, right? For people who may not be familiar. So I don't know. We'll see where things go. People talk about this stuff all the time, but I'm like, it feels like we're closer than we've ever been. All right. So Bitcoin Sig says, also don't forget that pack sales will chase pack opening prices. If you can buy packs cheaper than the contents, you'll be incentivized to do that. You know what's crazy though is that there's still a good amount of packs circulating. In fact, this number has only seemed to go up, right? We were in the 80Ks for a while, but I think a lot of people are just like, if they're going to speculate on Rebellion pack prices, you might as well get something out of it. Buy early, stake on wagons, benefit, profit, rinse, repeat. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. For the moon stream, I'm going to talk about the moon graveyard theory. I've been hearing a lot about that lately. Where do you guys dive into your conspiracy theory stuff? I need to do more. I've not heard about the moon graveyard theory, but I will look it up unless you want to give a little teaser here. Germany is also messed up since the C Viru 5 situation. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, that situation in 2020, I'll just call it situation, definitely has much longer lasting impacts than I think people realize, outside of just like the physical threat to your health. I mean, there's just a lot of things that changed culturally, politically, policy wise. So, and it's not just the US, but like worldwide. And WTF happened in Miami with the entire, oh my God, I saw that too. The aliens, everyone said there were like 10-foot aliens walking around Miami Mall. But of course, nobody has a picture of it, even though everybody has an iPhone. I think the official story was, it was some kids playing with fireworks. and so everybody started running. But yo, I mean, they literally had the entire Miami Police Department descending on, as you said, descending on the mall. It was nuts. I mean, the video of it looked like it was something like apocalyptic. Like what's going on there? Moon Graveyard, is that hundreds of bodies floating in space? Is that the hundreds of bodies floating in space? Okay. Oh, Brandon's going to give us a little bit of a preview. So basically, the moon landing, supposed to be the U.S. government got a moon landing and return correct the first time. When has the feds ever done that? Getting there easy, coming back. Oh, so are you saying that we sent people up to the moon and then they just died there, and then we filmed filmed their return and cloned their bodies? Now, how deep are we going with that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel you on the, feds getting it right the first time. What are the odds of that? But all right, so wasn't like, who's the director? Stanley Kubrick. Everybody, like, the conspiracy theory was that he filmed like the moon landing, and then he even like put some like breadcrumbs in certain interviews or movies afterwards. I don't know. I never went down that route, although maybe I'll have to now for the conspiracy theory stream. All right, so Amsterdam gave me. All right, you were talking about fifth generational warfare, the minds, hearts, and wallets of society, social media influence, media capture, fear. Ooh, if you guys have not watched this movie, and I know people are probably going to feel one way or another about it, but the one that came out right before the holidays on Netflix, what was it called? Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali. It's done by the same director or same like creator of Mr. Robot. Oh geez, Julia Roberts movie. Ethan Hawke was in it too. Gosh, what was it called? Oh, Leave the World Behind. Produced by the Obamas, for anybody that cares. I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but if you're enjoying the conspiracy theory talk and you enjoy what we're talking about now, it's definitely a very engaging movie. It's done well. If you like Mr. Robot, you like the style of Mr. Robot. So just from an entertainment standpoint, I think it's done well to kind of put you in a situation of kind of like panic, confusion, and whatever that the characters are in. And then of course it kind of jumps into certain topics that we're talking about now. But I would recommend that if you're enjoying the conversation now, you might enjoy that. But in relation to what Brandon is talking about here, right? Fifth generational warfare. That's what comes to mind. Bruce Gillis says, didn't know there was a Texit up here north of England. We all still want to join Scotland. I mean, this is the first I've ever seen the term Texit, and again, it's just I'm seeing more and more hashtags of Texit popping up on my feed here, and probably because I clicked on one because I'm just like, wait, what's Texit? And then I was like, oh, now I get it. And so of course the For You page is trying to push it on me now because it thinks that I'm like super interested. I mean, here's the thing. I like, you guys know, for me, I'm not originally from Texas. So it's funny because I was having a conversation with some family yesterday. I was just like, nah, we were just going down the rabbit hole. I'm like, if things go down here, like, do I want to be here? If they decide to become their own nation, how difficult is it going to become for me to see the rest of my family? So I don't know, just entertaining conversations that I hope only stay entertaining and not actually become logistical. All right, so Miami, where are the videos of the kids' fireworks? They would be live streaming, recording. Again, Brandon, I'm with you that the whole thing looked crazy. And the fact that, it was just some kids playing with fireworks is kind of ridiculous. I don't know where the first report of like 10-foot aliens walking around Miami Mall was, or where that came from, but it definitely caught my attention, or the conspiracy theorist in me. If Texas were to exit, you'd have way more borders to patrol. That's true. But you know what's kind of crazy is to see all of these other states jumping in with Texas. I mean, again, obviously not to say like, we're going to leave the union, but I don't know. To me, it shows just how rife the division is, right? There's a lot of people who are like, yeah, we stand with Texas, which again, I'm not even saying is a bad thing. I think everybody should be standing with Texas. I think we should all be standing behind like one flag, trying to make sure that our borders are secure. And I'm not even trying to make that political. I just think that that shouldn't be a partisan issue the way that it's become a partisan issue. All right, so vlogging, gaming, and coding says, have you already decided which presidential candidate you're going to vote for? We're not going there, vlogging. And no, I haven't decided, because I hate that we're going to have to get into a situation of choosing between the lesser of two evils. I'll say this. I'll say that as an American, the fact that as of now, it's shaping up to be Biden versus Trump again, it just signals to me how stuck in the past our country is. And it makes me it gives me even more conviction that like so much innovation, so much like we're no longer like the leaders of the world that we used to be. Like, the world doesn't respect us. The world doesn't look up to us in many ways. Right. In fact, we've actually alienated a lot of parts of the world. And this kind of just shows from an internal standpoint that we're just living in the past. The fact that over the last 4 years, neither party has been able to come up with somebody who is going to be like a more visionary leader that's not just talking about the past and not just focused in on like, defeating a candidate or whatever. Like, I don't know. To me, it's a little disappointing. But we'll leave it at that. So, dude, Brandon, thank you so much for putting like the moon in parentheses here, so I know what I'm jumping into. Exactly. The graveyard theory is that this conversation has been phenomenal. So I've been loving it so far. I'm glad I didn't end the stream early because we've gotten into some crazy topics. All right, so exactly. The graveyard theory is that the moon is a graveyard of lost spacemen we never knew about. Why would they advertise a failed Oh, fascinating. So okay, so it's not that I was going too deep down the rabbit hole. So you're saying that there's just a bunch of dead spacemen up there, and the only time they publicized any of it was when they got it right. So we probably had trips to the moon and earlier in the 60s, and therefore by 69 we got it right, and that's when they decided to film everything and show it off to the world. Which at the time it wouldn't have been like, I know like news is live, right? But like with delays and stuff like that, and government control at that time, there's only like 3 news networks. It wouldn't have been difficult to be like, yeah, okay, the signal from space is coming from this, and NASA, government agency, is controlling it. So Ryan says, when moon? I'm hoping summer. There's this part of me that's actually become quite bullish on the crypto ecosystem, if we're talking about crypto again, specifically Bitcoin. And I'm hoping that the having just supercharges a bunch of other narratives for the rest of the crypto ecosystem. So I hope we get a summer of 2024 that's similar to DeFi summer of 2020. I think that there's a lot of games out there that are either launching or in the process of launching. Keep in mind, like, Illuvium is still in beta. They have an open beta now. Once again, shout out to Bulldog for kind of posting about that, because I didn't realize, but you can go play and earn for free, completely free to play. And Parallel is about to open their beta, right? They've been in closed beta, and the token's done stupidly well for just the small community that they have. So I can't imagine what it's going to look like when it actually gets to open beta. And then just a bunch of other projects like launching and continuing to build. I mean, Splinterlands is going to like essentially redesign the ranking system, right? Which is not a new game, but definitely improves the player experience for all players, but specifically new players. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's exciting, and I'm hoping that a lot of these things get implemented and pushed out by the summertime, not just with Splinterlands, but with all these projects, all these gaming projects, and we see a summer of gaming. Because again, it's only going to take one, guys. It's only going to take one to have an Axie moment, and it's just like, if Bitcoin starts to, even if Bitcoin's choppy, like think back to 2021, summer of 2021, it was Axie that popped off while Bitcoin was on that huge dip in the summer. So you have one game take off, and then all of a sudden every influencer out there is like, oh, gaming's here to stay, play to earn, blah blah blah, and that could bode well for a lot of games out there. Now, I'm in the boat, right? I'm in the boat that a lot of money and a lot of capital is going to go to the new shiny games. I know a lot of people have confidence that Splinterland's been around for 6 years, and it's shown that it has staying power and all that. And I'm not as confident in that narrative to bring in new players. That doesn't mean that I don't think we're going to get any new players. I think we'll get a decent amount. How much of that we get depends on how much money those new players bring in terms of capital. That depends too, because again, going back to like the Hive ecosystem being very, very obscure versus ETH, Solana, Polygon, even BSC. So I'll have to wait and see how that goes. So Brandon says, I wonder if Texans and Scots would be the most similar when comparing US and UK types of people. I actually don't know too much about different types of UK people, but I've never lived there. So I heard about that movie, but didn't watch it. It's entertaining. If you don't take it as anything else out except for entertaining, I think it's still worth the watch. Well, then, you got everybody talking about predictive programming and produced by the Obamas and I don't know, all that stuff. So Vlogging says, Mr. Robot was one of the greatest series ever existed. I will sub Netflix again for Valhalla Vikings season 3. All right, cool. I mean, I enjoyed Mr. Robot. I thought it was a really well done series. Oh shoot, I'm falling behind on chat. Let's catch up here. So Brandon says, I'm Texan, could take the Texan out of Texas, but not the Texan out of the man. I've known of Texas since I was a boy. Well, that's my point, Brandon. People have been talking about Texit for a while, or Texas seceding from the Union, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know as much about Texas history since I didn't live here. But I mean, is this the first time that like they're like taking this type of stand against the federal government? I can't imagine anything in the past couple of decades I've been alive that would have caught my attention. Quick question. What happens to the wagons at the end of the season? Do you need to purchase new ones each season? No, you don't need to purchase new ones ever again. They will last you forever. So you'll be good with that. Because there's going to be 9 conflicts, but then even after the conflicts are done, there will be, some other kind of game modes or something that they want to do. Again, nothing guaranteed, but they've kind of hinted at, they've built the mechanism for this. So again, I would love for there to be like another PvE mode kind of thing that we could do. JB, getting back to important Splinterland stuff. Good man. Sorry, saying we should defend our border is political. None. One side wants it open. Sorry, saying we should defend our border is political. One side wants it open. So I'm trying to understand this. You're correct for people. For those who have a bigger plan, bring money, they have different goals, clearly. Okay. I know it's political because I know it's political. I'm trying to avoid going down this road. I'm just saying that it shouldn't be political, right? Can we agree on that? Can we agree on the fact that like border security should not be a political or partisan issue? I'm not saying like what one side or the other believes. I just feel like, if you live in a country and you want to have, safety and borders and all that. Again, I'm not even talking about the US, but just like any country in a vacuum, like it should be something that every citizen should be able to get behind. Obviously, it's not the case, but yeah. All right, so maybe Brandon, I've been to the US, so all I know is how they're portrayed in movies. The Scottish are generally friendly and welcoming, but rough around the edges. Same with the north of England, or northern England. No, we don't need more border security because then we get more street taco vendors. I'm not even going to unpack that one. You're funny, Bitcoin's sake. All right, so let's see. Moon. All right, the film of the moon landing was admittedly filmed on a movie set. You can see the NBC watermark on the screen. The audio, though, that was live, supposedly. Interesting. Wait, what? An NBC watermark on the screen? All right, we're gonna have fun on this conspiracy theory stream. I can already tell. All right, so Bitcoin 6 says, it seems like a lot of projects have launches in line with the halving, like Illuvium, which is really good AAA gaming style polish to it. Yeah, I don't, you know what, to your point, I don't think it's, I think it's very much by design that a lot of these projects are probably pushed major things off, or just try to schedule things out with the, hopefully the launching of the next major bull run, right? Or bull pump. The camera on the ladder was supposedly live, but there's another video showing the lunar module actually landing on the surface. That was produced by NBC. Ah, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense, right? Because how would you... I mean, I guess you could send the camera down early, but... Known for knowledge, what's up? Good day. After a green year 2023, I feel we could see some more pain before the gain. Gaming tokens are risk assets and could be hurt the most unless they give more stimulus than we can pump, in my opinion. So I was having this conversation with someone yesterday, and 2020 happened, and then obviously it's a big situation back in 2020, which led to a ton of stimulus being pumped into the ecosystem. And a lot of people are thinking, again, maybe not some kind of black swan event, but in an election year, generally whoever's in power wants to make sure that the economy looks good, right? And I was just reading yesterday, right? Isn't like the markets are doing fantastic. I think S&P hit new all-time high, and all these other hitting all-time highs. So, I don't know. You make a good point here. I mean, maybe the market is doing well enough that crypto is just going to get pushed to the sidelines, where, they don't feel the need to pump and prop everything up. But, when the banks started failing last year, I thought that was going to be the start of it. I thought it was going to be like, oh, shoot, okay, like recession's here, things are going to break, and they're going to have to like pump money into the system. And they haven't actually had to do that. I mean, they did it with a bank, the BTFD, but that was like sneaky money printing rather than like very direct. So I don't know if something's going to break this year. I hope that we're not going to have like a COVID 2.0 in any way, shape, or form. But when you got virus talking about Civil War 2.0, I'm just kidding. It's not just virus. When you got people talking about Civil War and all the other stuff happening, it's like, well, there might be some reason to pump stimulus into the system. I just hope it's not anything crazy. Although, pumping money into the system is never going to be beneficial long term. So Steve says Texas is always in the news because Texas joined the union. Are you from Texas too, Steve? Join the union. It was so big they got the right to leave if they wanted. Give many think. Given many think the first civil kind of makes that deal void. Sure, I can agree. It shouldn't be, but it is bummer. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. You and I are probably in the same kind of thinking, Steve. I'll just say that. Friendly and welcoming, but rough around the edges. Well, howdy, partner. Welcome to Texas. All right. So actually, when Texas joined the union, they were their own sovereign country first. They were their own. So they got independence from Mexico, and then they were their own country for like 11 years, if I remember correctly. Therefore, it wasn't like other states who joined as unincorporated land areas. Stimulus. If rate cuts start up again in March, could be cheaper money very close by. Also, lots of chatter about shadow stimulus happening in bank right now to keep banks solvent. Well, I mean, it's not really shadow stimulus. I mean, the bank term BTFD, bank term funding, something. I mean, that was like very direct stimulus. I mean, they were essentially printing money to keep these banks afloat. It just wasn't. A lot of people didn't consider it stimulus because it's not hitting the economy in the same way, but it's still inflating the money supply. If I'm understanding it correctly. But to your point, if they start cutting rates aggressively, I mean, market could get really, really bullish on that. And then imagine if that happens in the first couple of months of the year, if they start to signal that they're going to be cutting rates. And that aligns with, halving or post-halving. Could be interesting. By common sense, isn't the Mexican border issue persisting because American companies like cheaper workers? This is not the conversation I wanted to go down. I don't know. I don't know enough to make a comment one way or another on that, to be honest, vlogging. I mean, there's no denying the fact that the U.S. has outsourced a ton of labor. So I'll agree with you there. How it relates back to the border, I would think maybe it includes part of that, but I think it's much more complicated. Financially, everyone is in bad shape. I think they have no choice to give stimulus. That'd be crazy. Stimulus, but what does it do for Main Street? That's an unknown. Corporate balance sheets and stock markets are not the same as general population money. No, I agree. What was it I was just listening to? But they were talking about, like, everything was made blatantly obvious after COVID, right? Because you saw the K-shaped recovery where all of a sudden, if you owned assets, you did really well. And if you didn't own assets, things just got worse for you, right? And I think it's ultimately been the same thing since that, even though we've had like a bit of a down year in 2022. It's like if you own assets and you have the ability to own assets, which again, most Wall Street, higher income earners, but a lot of the general population don't. A lot of general population are living paycheck to paycheck and are still paying even higher prices now after inflation, right? Because like inflation doesn't just go away. Like, we were up 9% year over year last year, and even though we're down now to 3%, like the damage is already done. Like, those prices aren't going back down on a lot of like household goods. I mean, maybe they are in certain instances, but I would imagine cost of living is still increased significantly higher than just a few years ago. Vlogging, that is the theory. Big business wants cheap labor. Thing is that labor was already in place before the last few years of mass immigration. Yep. All right, so no rate cut or very few. We'll see. All right, so yeah, don't disagree. Just sharing what fintech talking heads are mentioning these days. Gotcha. Okay, well, thanks for the heads up on that. All right, so Brandon, they're already putting money into the repo program because banks aren't lending to other banks. Economy's in really bad shape, can't and won't cut rates much. They want a strong dollar, so raise interest rates. I mean, I don't disagree with you on that. They definitely want to have a stronger dollar, but at some point, right, one way to help stimulate the economy without actually providing stimulus is to lower rates. If you just want to get more money flowing, more borrowing, more spending. So I think the going theory now is that at some point before the election, at some point this year, because it's an election year, they're going to want to at least maybe not do it, but maybe hint at it. I don't know. Right? You know how it is, right? It's just like everybody listens to the, Jerome Powell's speech, or they check the Fed minutes, and it's like the market doesn't react. It like pre-acts based on that. Yo, Tails is in the house. What's up? Do we consider it strange that we are at all-time highs for the markets, yet companies are cutting large percent of their workforce? I don't think it's I think if you've been following this stuff, I don't think it's strange. I think it makes sense, sadly. But to your point, yeah, it's not a good sign. So Tails, not at all. A cut to the workforce equals cut expenses, higher profit margin. Markets are forward-looking, therefore stocks often rise after a company cuts staff. So he says, well, sometimes the stock people look at layoffs as bullish, depending on why. I mean, look at how many people after the cuts at Splinterlands in our community here were becoming super bullish, right? And I'm not saying that we're right or wrong. I'm just saying that sentiment exists. Doesn't matter if it's a stock market or a small project like Splinterlands. The repo market, come out with the bond market, is a harbinger of general markets. I also believe the core of the economy is in bad shape. The markets can remain irrational longer than I can remain solvent. Well said. That's the case for most of us, I think. If productivity increases, yes. If not, then it is just a bubble. Laying off workers almost always boosts stock price in the near term, but companies' revenue, profit, and ability to innovate drive long-term value. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't disagree. This is kind of the problem with this is the problem with a lot of like public companies, right? Is you'll get a CEO who comes in and is just looking at time intervals in 3-month chunks, right, in quarterly chunks, rather than somebody keeping their company private, for example, and being able to take short-term losses for long-term gains. Yeah, but having high rates makes everyone in the world want to hold dollars and get that 5% most of the nation offer tops 2% for bonds. What's crazy though is like, do we all actually believe that like real inflation is only 3%? I mean, I know I'm talking to a bunch of crypto degens here, but do we actually believe that like real inflation is 3%? I mean, I've seen the cost of stuff that I buy regularly, just household goods and needs and things like that. A lot of that stuff has gone up way higher than 3 or even 9% last year. So the idea of like holding cash in, a 5% APR vehicle, it still doesn't have the same appeal of, well, I got to outpace this, right? So, I mean, for me, I'm orange pilled, so Bitcoin is my hedge. But for people who aren't orange pilled, I think that they would still look at the markets and think to themselves, would I put something in a bond, or would I put something? I guess if you're TradFi, then you find the value in bonds. So, Brian says the free money of 20 to 22 create a lot of fluff in the system companies. Agreed. Yeah, we saw that across the board. Yeah, market blow off top seems to be an option right now. Irrational for sure. But here's the thing, right? And this is what we were talking about earlier. Can the market stay irrational for another 12 months until after the election? I mean, to Brandon's point, can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. So I think absolutely it can. All right. So Brandon says energy costs for my residence business both doubled in just 3 years, 33% inflation. So this is what I'm talking about, right? I mean, energy costs, gas prices in many areas, right? So I mean, that's included with energy, but like food, a lot of the food, like, I mean, I'm one of those people that like, I tend to eat a lot of the same things, right? I have like a very strict kind of like diet that I've adhered to. And it's just like, oh, this is just getting more and more expensive year by year. So S&P 500 tends to drop 2 to 6 weeks after BTC top. Oh, Brandon's thinking, you think the ETF launches BTC top? I mean, it's a local top for sure, Brandon. Don't you think? I don't see any of the catalysts for Bitcoin in the next couple of months. I mean, unless like some major companies start adopting it, but it seems like it was a very much a seldom used event. I think the only good thing, I shouldn't say the only good thing, but I think one of the major good things about the Bitcoin ETF being live now, even if we turn out to be like a local top here, is the fact that the doors are going to open. Right now, let's talk about the fact that I had a family member, older family member, who like reached out to me in 2021. I was just like, oh, I keep hearing about this Bitcoin thing. I want to buy. I want to put $10,000 in. I was like, there's a lot that goes into it. Like, you shouldn't just buy it and keep it on exchange. You'll need to like learn all these different things. And so again, that was just like a single person who was ready to put 5 figures into Bitcoin. And I didn't want to be responsible for that because they're family. So it's like I almost talked them out of it. I was trying to talk them into like, oh, you should just like DCA over time, right? But then like talking through the actual logistics of like, okay, well, what is the competitive advantage, or what is the core value of Bitcoin? Well, it's the fact that you can actually take it off and hold it in your own wallet. And then you have to memorize, your seed phrase and all this. And they were just like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work, right? Well, now 2024, 2025, when they come to me and be like, oh, I want to buy some Bitcoin, I'll be like, here's the list of tickers, right, for all of the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, should you buy that versus buying the actual token? No, obviously not. But for older folks, or for people who just don't understand the technology and just want exposure to it, now that option is open. Yeah, real inflation is wild, but when you can buy a bond with 10 million or more, 5% buys a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, again, you're not wrong. Maybe I'm just too orange pilled. Like, bonds to me are going to be one of the first things that get repriced. Usually it's top after ETFs. Check history. Oh yeah, it was the same thing with the oh gosh, what was it? The futures ETF too, right? For sure, it was buy rumors, sell news, local top, but for how long? Are we in a 4 to 6 month accumulation through the halving, or a severe downturn before another bull market? I don't think we're in a severe downturn. I mean, hold on. What do we top out at? Wasn't it like 48 or something? 48 times 0.7. Yeah, like we could have a 30% correction that takes us down to like 33. 33K for Bitcoin. And that would still be healthy and in line with previous bull runs, right? I think they looked at like most bull runs had on average like 30% corrections from bottom to top. I don't know if we've had one yet. I think we were at like 30. Well, we were at like 30. I think we topped off at like 32 times 0.7. Yeah, we remember because we went from like 32 back down to 25, and we were down at 25 for a little while. So again, I guess what I'm trying to say here is I don't think it's going to be a severe downturn. But even if we go lower than this, all the way down into like the mid 30s, that would still be in line with previous bull runs, right? We're at what, 39.8 right now. So, and like I was saying earlier, what's the catalyst? What are the catalysts that'll be coming in outside of the halving? And even still, the halving in and of itself isn't really a catalyst. It's just you'll feel the supply shock after, usually start in months and weeks after, or weeks and months after the halving, which again could be as early as summer of 2024, which is why I'm very bullish on summer of 2024. But to answer your question directly, I mean, could it be another 4 to 6 month accumulation period? It might be. We might just range like in the mid to high 30s, maybe low 40s between now and who knows, like May or June. That's what, 5 months? Yeah, that'd be perfectly within that time frame. Again, that's not a prediction. I'm just saying that it's definitely a possibility. I don't think at this point we like nuke down back into the 20s, but don't hold me to that because I can't predict crypto. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we range. Now, of course, the bull daddy in me, shout out to BB Omega, right? The bull daddy in me wants to see us start hitting new all-time highs before the halving. That'd be freaking awesome, right? Obviously, it's not gonna. I mean, could it happen? Yeah. Will it happen? Probably not. But like I said, it all just depends on like where the narrative starts to go. Like, I know that they did a lot of work on the back end to help a lot with banks going insolvent. But imagine if like that wasn't enough. What if all of a sudden like another major bank fails, or a financial institution, or whatever the case is? When that started happening in 2023, March 2023, banks were failing and Bitcoin was rising. Every time like one of them would fail, Bitcoin would pump, because people are like, oh, I get it now. It's like not even safe to keep your money in a bank, right? So if we were to get something like that happens again, I think you could see that as a potential catalyst. But I don't know. Banks failing just don't seem like banks failing. Like, again, there's so many things that like I just didn't have on like my bingo card coming into 2024, right? So you got civil war, you got conflicts around the rest of the world. Obviously it's an election year, so things going on. So I mean, maybe we do a little rerun of 2023, and you see some financial institutions like not doing well. I don't know. But that's the thing. Wall Street's doing much better now. It doesn't say much about the rest of the economy, but hitting new all-time highs. I wonder though, are we still being carried by, like, wasn't the S&P 500 being carried by like the top tech stocks? Like, without the top 5 tech stocks, it would actually be in the negative, or just like barely breaking even. I wonder if that's still the case. So vlogging says around 35K. I'm confident enough to start longing Bitcoin. I just DCA, but I agree with you that if it goes into the mid to low 30s, I'll look at that and be like, oh, okay, I think I'm ready to start DCAing even more. Maybe only a month down, then go up. Just a correction, in my opinion. Oh, well, I hope you're right, Known for Knowledge. I would love for things to start going up in, was it February or March? But I'm just prepared for it to take a little bit longer than that. I mean, the thing is, it's so, when you're in it, when you're in it, like, it's, you get caught up in the hoopla and mania, or the euphoria of it. But otherwise, like, it's so easy to see, if you just go through, obviously hindsight's 2020, it's so easy to see, like, okay, the moment everybody says like something's gonna happen, then it doesn't, right? And you know what, I have video evidence of me through all these streams where I was saying that I expected the Bitcoin Bitcoin ETF, spot ETF launch in January. I was expecting it to be a sell the news event, right? That was my expectation. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yet I was watching like a hawk, like, just like I jumped into a candy store on January 9th, 10th, and 11th, because I'm just like, I want to be wrong. I want to be so wrong. Please let me be wrong. But of course, I didn't, take my profits or whatever outside of my usual ice cream money at that time. I mean, I should have, right? I definitely should have. But I got caught up in the euphoria and mania of it, just like everybody else. So, this is why it's like, okay, I'm trying to take the very conservative route now and be like, yeah, I don't see much happening with Bitcoin over the next couple of months. And then hopefully Known for Knowledge ends up being right, because you're bucking the trend and being like, yeah, you know what, this time around, because everybody's expecting Bitcoin to go up after the halving, we're going to have it go up before the halving. So whatever you think is going to happen, usually the opposite does. S&P 493 is down, I believe. So it's the top 7 companies are literally carrying the S&P to new all-time highs. That's insane. I mean, it shows you where the economy is, right? It's just like, it's just like a garbage cake with really nice icing on top. All right, so yeah, a lot stuff is still heading down. Just a few top guys hiding it. True. DCA time. Let's go. I'm going to be part of the BTC Millionaires Club. How much Bitcoin do you need to be part of the Bitcoin or BTC Millionaires Club? All right, what are we talking about now? I mean, we went down so many rabbit holes. Politics, global geopolitics, conflicts, both in real world and in Splinterlands. We talked about the moon and conspiracy theories. Crazy stuff, guys. It's a fun conversation, though. I love doing these. Just one. All right, BTC to 0, 1 million. Nothing really in between. I don't disagree with you there. I mean, I know this is going to sound so ridiculous, but I actually think when you look at global wealth and just how much like asset value is out there, I mean, even if we were to take like a percentage or a couple percentage points of that, because Bitcoin is a global asset class, it's going to be way higher. It's going to be way higher than 1 million. It's just a matter of the capital actually coming into it. But, we'll see. BTC is a binary bet. I agree. It either fails or it exceeds everybody's wildest expectations. All right. I've been having too much fun with this. Let's see if we can get a quick win and then close out the stream. Oh, actually, you know what? I wanted to do a giveaway today. Delegate some SPS out to folks. Should we do a death wheel? How many people do we have? 37? That's a decent amount. All right, where are we at? I'm gonna go anti-magic. And let's see how that plays out. I kind of don't like this team though. You know what? I think I need more. Oh, yeah, let's go with him. He's cool. Let's go with you. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's not my favorite team. Ah, shoot. That Thorns is going to kill me. Okay, so they had similar-ish idea. Ooh. Okay, just got to get rid of their little guy there. Oh, but you know what? I'm going to end up hurting myself. Okay. But he's going to come back, so that's not great. Damn. Okay. I mean, that's not terrible because she can't heal herself. But you know what? Neither can I. Oh, I don't know if that was the best way to go about it. But they lost. Oh, no, but then I'm going to lose my guy too. Shoot. Dude, you should have helped yourself. Damn. Okay. I don't know what happens here. I think we win. I think we still win, right? Because we're the only people that can attack. But the problem is we're going to end up hurting ourselves. Oh my gosh, we're going to make it. No, we're dead. Wait, but we won just by default, right? I think we'll take it. Yeah. Just because we have more life. Well, I just survived 4 rounds of fatigue. There's round 1, round 2, round 3. Yep, and round 4. Wow, fantastic. I will take that win any day of the week. What are we at? 5.2 SPS. Very nice. And now we're 9 chests. All right. All right. So I want to say that I really enjoy listening to your content while I'm coding. Thank you and keep it coming. Oh, Phoenix, that means a lot. Thank you for being here. And I mean, I've never been a coder, but I don't know how you can concentrate listening to something while coding. Whenever I do stuff like or writing, whatever, I usually listen to non-lyrical music. But thank you for being here, Phoenix, and I appreciate the kind words. Player staking could help after rank overhaul. You know, Matt's not even talking about that. I don't think that's going to be a thing anymore. I think it was an original idea, but not there. All right, so have you heard the Satoshi conspiracy that he was waiting for the ETF to take off and he will sell all his BTC to pump the other coins? I mean, dude, the moment Satoshi's wallet moves, Bitcoin's done. I think the hope that everybody is going on now is that Satoshi just died and nobody has access to that wallet. But I'll tell you this, the moment the money in that wallet moves, like the world is going to be on watch. And I mean, I'm a BTC maxi, I'm a Bitcoin maxi, but it's just like, if that happens, I'll be like, oh, I think I might've messed up. Let's see what he does. Right. A lot of people are counting that as like essentially dead Bitcoin. Oh snap. Expo saying Yemen sunk a US warship. Jeez. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that's going to escalate things further. Also, it's like, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this. Again, I'm not like pro conflict in any way, but like, aren't they just like rebels? And they sunk our warship? That's crazy. Like, what are they even armed with that they could sink a warship? I don't have a military background, so I'm speaking ignorantly. I don't mean to offend anyone. All I'm saying is that that's a little crazy. It comes off as either like incompetent or maybe we're not as good as we thought, which is a scary thought. The 3.618 Bitcoin on Bitcoin's previous run is 246. So 4 to 5 for the Millionaire Club. I think known for knowledge, he's saying not just this run, right? But in total, like overall, Bitcoin will eventually trend towards infinity because it's infinity over 21 million. They can never stop printing money. Tell me more. I've only heard that much. I want to know what coins he will pump. If true, but idea that he's really anti-big banks. So get the big banks in and wreck them. Wait, what? But that wouldn't destroy Bitcoin though. That was still his main thing. Cause I mean, that's kind of what Bitcoin was all for. I mean, it's going to wreck a lot of people, but if the banks are the ones holding a ton, gosh, I don't even know, man. But to protect the degen, pump the alts they should be in. Dude, you know who it would kill? It would kill the Bitcoin maxis. It would kill the Bitcoin maxis. They would never recover from that. Bitcoin Cash, perhaps. No, Bitcoin Cash isn't real. Don't touch that. Not financial advice, but don't touch that. All right, so does Satoshi play Splinterlands? Dude, that'd be awesome. Somebody get him on board. Jason, I think the cycles are tightening. I think the 120K would be good for the cycle top. Yeah, the fact that we didn't hit 120 we didn't even hit 100 last time, to me is, I don't know. I do believe that at some point, maybe it's this cycle, maybe in the future. I mean, there will be some kind of like hyper Bitcoinization. And if you think about the halving, right? The halving is becoming less and less impactful. All right, we're going from like 6.25 Bitcoin per block down to 3.25. But 4 years ago, it was from 12.5 down to 6.25, right? And then back in 2016, that was from 25 down to like, it's just yes, it's a halving, but the percentage is, it's a halving, but you get what I'm saying. The impact is going to be less and less, or felt less and less. All right, let's do this because this is something that I probably should have been doing. I can't believe I forgot about it, but let's see. Giveaway wheel. If you have not chatted in a bit and you want to be eligible for it'll be a 10,000 SPS delegation for anybody who's interested. Just go ahead and put something in the comments if you have not commented recently, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull in all the participants from here. And I'll give you guys a couple minutes just in case people are watching this on replay. Participants. Man, we have like over 30 people in here, but it's really just been me, Brandon, Jason, known for knowledge, and Steve chatting. Because there's no other participants on here. That's hilarious. Well, thank you guys for at least listening and hanging out. Oh, known for knowledge is on there too. Oh, Tails just popped in. Virus just popped in. There you go. I mean, if you don't want the delegation, we don't have to do this. I mean, you don't have to say anything, but just trying to do more, give back on these streams. All right, we'll give it another minute or two. All you have to do is type a comment, and then it on YouTube, excuse me, on YouTube, I can go in and says like there's a list of participants, and I guess it's only like recent commenters. So yeah, because as each of you comment, your names are popping up here. Brandon Dove just popped up. Blue Boy just popped up. So that's got to be what it is. All right, so delegation station vlogging says those who think that cycles are shrinking practically think that Bitcoin is done after this cycle. It would never reach the market cap of gold. I don't know that I agree with that, but I can understand why people would think that. Virus has been lurking in coding too. That's impressive. I would like to participate or part. Yep. Cool. Giveaway. Let's go. Rage quit. Swales. There we go. Everybody's chiming in now. All right. So let's see. Oh, actually, why am I going there now? We got to pick a winner first. Okay, has that been enough time? Let's see how many participants we have here. It's not too many, so we'll keep it small. Gave you enough of a warning. But you know what? Maybe we'll try to do this every stream, if I can remember. Okay, so let's put some names in. Oh, damn it. I got weird spaces on there. Oh, Brandon, thank you for being a member for 6 months. I don't know why this is there, but I appreciate you, brother. All right, Red X. Steve, thanks for being a member. Oh, we got to do something for members. If you're a member and you win, I'll delegate you 20K. Virus, thanks for being a member. Yeah, gotta get the members some love. All right, hold on. I'm gonna type in a couple more folks because I saw you came in late. So who do we got? International Travel Channel. We got Yvonne and Leandro. All right, closing it now. Options. Remove winners. And I think we can start. All right, best of luck. Sorry, there's only one winner here. Oh, damn, Virus. Sorry. You are the first loser. You have the best luck out of everybody. All right, so let's see. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow, even though it's not usual stream day for me. I don't know if it'll be Splinterlands related because I've been wanting to do some... sorry, Blue Boy. Wanting to do some parallel. Although I might jump into parallel later. We'll see. But I'll try to do more streaming and chatting over the weekend, maybe too. Vlogging and gaming. So sorry. Naseem Ansari. What's going on? You're a new name here. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Oh, sorry, Tails. I got you at the last minute. Boom, 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 boom. And sorry, Brandon Dove. I guess we have 2 Brandons here. I miss Wheel of Deaths. All right, we're going to start doing this more. Just remind me. Sorry, Steve. Although I think you got a lot of SPS already. Hey, Virus, are you still renting SPS too? Just to get up to that level. Ooh. Bitcoin SIG. Not Web3, but have you seen Pal World yet? Is what Virus is asking. I have not seen it. I've heard of it. Can you give me like the one sentence thing? Wait, who else is talking about Pal World? Yvonne? Oh, sorry, Brandon. Can't wait to get home and play some more. Oh, interesting. Okay. New game? Let's go. Dude, there's so much to check out. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's just exciting to be in the game space right now. So I'm really gonna make time for it. If you combine Ark Survival, Evolved, and Pokemon. Whoa, wait, Brandon, that's gonna be like literally right up your alley. Sorry, Virus, it's gonna be right up your alley. Known for knowledge. Sorry, you are out. All right, we got, what is it, 4 people left? Arc plus Pokemon is the best description. All right, you know what? Maybe this afternoon I'll jump back in on stream and see how things are going. Leandro. Sorry about that. All right, we got 3 people left. Red X, International Travel Channel, and Suarez. International Travel Channel, you are out. Okay, so keep in mind, it is not on the person that it lands on. It is on the person that it does not land on that wins. So you don't want to be picked and be the last loser, which would be Suarez. So Red X, right? Am I right? Yeah, Red X. Go ahead and post your IGN. Let me know what your IGN is, and I will delegate you some SPS right now. Congratulations. And where do I go? I haven't done this in a minute. Manage. Oh, I'm still delegating someone 75. Oh, yeah, this is to the Nifty account. Man, I delegated this 5 months ago. That's all right. Jose's a cool dude. Red Vipers X. Amazing. All right, so let's delegate. Red Vipers. Oh, Red X Vipers. I'm all right. Red X Vipers. Go the grand line. How much do we say? 10K. All right, my friend. You will enjoy that until I forget. You'll enjoy that for what? We'll say like a week, unless I forget. But you know what? We're gonna try and do. I guess I need to buy more SPS now. I guess we'll try and do one of these every stream. Just get people, stick around till the end, have some fun. Why is it not going? Red X Vipers. Oh, appears there's been a delay in processing the transaction. Dude, Hive, come on now. There's only 5,000 people here, not even. What are you gonna do when we get 50,000? Oh, whoops, not 50,000 SPS. Oh wait, it already says I'm delegating to you. Check that out. See, I put 10,000, and now it's saying new delegation amount is 20K. So you should have it already. And if not, then I'll check in later. See where it's at. There it is. All right, enjoy. I wish I could click on your name here and go directly to your profile. That'd be kind of cool. All right. So like Illuvium, that's basically kind of like Pokemon plus SimCity plus MMO. That's a lot. All right. A lot of Illuvium people are talking about how it is similar to Palworld. Yeehaw. I haven't tested out Illuvium yet. That's something I want to do. I saw Bulldog's post. I was going on Twitter or X, and I was going back and forth with him today. So shout out to Bulldog for sharing some cool stuff. Yeah. Are you buying SPS and sending it to viewers? I'm not sending it. I'm delegating it to winners of the Circle of Death. No, sorry. No, not Circle of Death. Death Wheel. You'll take 100K. Bro, come on. I ain't got 100K to give out. Let's see. What did I think I was at a 14x multiplier. So what did I drop to now? 13.98. Damn, that sucks. All right, time to buy more SPS. No, I know you're trolling me, Bill, so I'm just giving you a hard time. New Tycoon game on Chronos. Wait, what? What are we talking about? Is Palworld on Chronos? Or what is it called? Is it called Palworld? Yeah, Palworld. Okay, sorry. I'm going to do it while you guys are here. And then I promise we'll jump off. Oh, Brandon, by the way, I meant to message you about this, but Spritz Finance, I heard about that on your Monster Maverick stream. Are you having good experience? Because I haven't tried it yet. I signed up, but I haven't actually tested it. I meant to reach out and ask you how, what your experience was like. It seemed like Neil liked it. Wait, you could play Palworld on Steam? Pokemon investigating Palworld for potential IP infringement. Wait, is Palworld a crypto game? Or is this just a Web2 game? Palworld isn't a crypto game, but it is a vampire attack on Pokemon. Phenomenal rise of Pokemon with guns. All right, I'm liking all of these descriptions here. So this would just be a game, right? Or Web2 game. Can we have the dark theme? Thank you. So much better. Yo, Skyer, what's going on? We're about to hop off here, actually. I saw 289 vouchers I had left to SPS today. Yeah, I sold some vouchers yesterday for SPS. Neil's been using it. I haven't used it yet. It's crypto. Wait, Wilson's saying it's crypto. Virus is saying it's Web 2. What's the burn amount to double chances for airdrop with vouchers? I believe it's 20 vouchers a pop. Not confirmed, but that's what was like floated around on Discord, I think. So crypto entrepreneurs indie game. So is it like Web 2 and then he's gonna start adding Web 3 elements in? Let's see, 20 vouchers per card. I think it's crypto, but haven't double checked. Main city. But why would Decrypt cover it or other crypto media? Interesting. Okay. I'll look into it a little bit more. I'll be honest, I'm not looking to get into a Web 2 game, but if it's fun and there's people to play with, then why not, right? All right, let's do one more refresh. See if the numbers look any better by the end of the stream. 39,800. We went up a little bit. Voucher still around 4 cents. I mean, with the pack sales and wagons, we burned like 1 million vouchers, which is not insignificant. But again, it's just like when is the next voucher sync coming into play? Voucher burn catalyst coming into play. All right, we're at 721.5. Very cool. Slowly, steadily working our way up. Arbitrage is still there. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Like I said, I'll try to stream tomorrow as well if I can. Maybe even later today. We'll see how things go. Virus is saying the voucher sync would be the airdrop for gold foil chances. I mean, that would burn 80,000 Virus, and that's not coming for another 30 days. And we mint 80,000 vouchers in 2 days. So it wouldn't burn that much. I'm talking about like, well, it's really pack sales at this point, right? What would drive a ton more pack sales that people would be burning 5 vouchers a pack? Or voucher or like soulbound unlock for land. I have to imagine that's coming sooner rather than later, right? Because if they're planning to unlock soulbound in the middle of the year anyway, by like June, I don't know. It seems like they should be getting that out sooner rather than later. Yeah, you leaving? Just came in. It's rude. Well, it's kind of rude that you came in late, Wilson. What the hell? Come on, dude. You know what time I stream. All right, guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch up with you soon. Stay safe. Enjoy your Thursday, or if it's Friday for you already, enjoy your Friday. Otherwise, best of luck in your gaming conspiracies. What else are we talking about? Politics, all this other crazy stuff. Coding for the people who are coding. And thanks for tuning in. Peace.